What's up?
Thorial, how's it going? Thank you for the sub, appreciate you as always.
No problem.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Falc?
Oh, another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, always is, isn't it?
Falc, are you away from your mic? You seem a little quiet today.
No, I just had the gain knob way down. We're good.
I just had turned you up. You were down on my side
Oh.
for some reason.
Oh, okay, well, that too then, I guess. I don't know.
Gonna give it just a few more minutes for anybody else who wants to mosey on in to do so.
Fair enough. Either you gentlemen do anything fun for New Year's Eve?
I was actually at Noble's house playing board games.
Yeah, good shit.
I was sitting in my apartment getting drunk.
I did that too, while
Perfect.
streaming 7 Days to Die.
There you go.
I popped into Thorial's stream like a couple minutes before midnight for me. I was just like, hey, I saw you're streaming. Just pop in and say Happy New Year.
Drunk killing zombies, you know.
That's pretty much what I do. I just pop in, throw 3 sarcastic jokes at it, and walk away.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
It's pretty much my calling card.
With some sarcasm.
Oh, yeah.
Or is sarcasm probably my second language?
As it should be.
Yeah.
It's just tough because I understand almost nothing about what's happening in the game.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I get the general premise of it, but you're like, yeah, I got a level 3 this, and I'm like, I don't even know what that's good for.
I get it. I don't get it.
Like, I get it, don't die to zombies, build things, create structures to live in, don't die more. But, like,
Yep.
the process of being able to do that, I have no freaking idea.
Yeah, it takes some learning. I started playing it when it was in, like, I don't know, Alpha 14. I mean, the game's still in early access.
Which
I
is
don't know
just
when the hell
terrible.
the Yeah, well, I mean, it was a small developer, and I know they doubled their crew last year to actually start getting some shit moving along. But, yeah, I started playing, it was in, like, Alpha 14, so probably around 2014 or 15 there. So, of course, now it's like, I've had enough experience with the game that I know more than enough
You
to
could be
get
the
by.
developer, yeah.
Yeah. It's like I know enough to get by and not get my ass handed to me. But yeah, somebody new coming to it, it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
I mean, I played it like 6 months ago with Journeyman and Willow. And Journey's like, he's like you, he's been playing it forever, so he knows the ins and outs. He's like, let's go here, let's do this, and grab this, and take this. I'm like, I don't understand what any of this means. Is this English? Like, what is happening right now? He's like, no, trust me, you're gonna want this for later. I'm like, later? Like, tell me how I gotta do anything. I don't even know how to build or grab a thing, or what am I doing? And then I died.
That's
And I-
whatever
I'm
you
done
said
with this.
for you.
And then I'm done with this game.
I've got
Yeah,
just shy of 1,000 hours into that game, so...
Yeah, I'm just like, I appreciate you love this game, but like, if you don't tell me how to play it properly, like, there's no interest for me to play the game. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, yeah, you can tell me to run to that bush and harvest it, but like, if you don't tell me the point and the purpose of it, I don't know, like, how I'm supposed to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
and then Willow was off trying to fight a bear, which was hysterical.
Yeah, doing that early on is never a good idea.
Like, literally with just like a hatchet, like, you're gonna die.
I got that.
And then at one point in time, I did find a handgun, and I shot Jerry just out of frustration. Like, fuck you. Anyway, good times.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Cool. Hi, everybody.
Before we get going, though, you know what time it is, Seraphim?
Hydrate.
Started
Started off with a hydrate.
Jeez.
I'm incorporating that into the run now, by the way.
Fair enough.
Like right about the drowning sequence.
Yeah.
So hi everybody. So we are 1 week away from AGDQ, and I am super hyped. And this is the last day I was able to get both Falc and Thorial together to do some runs. So today it's basically just when you guys are satisfied with your commentary is when we will call it quits. I will sit here and run all night if you guys feel that we need to do more runs or keep at it a little longer. Because, like, my run doesn't change, so it's all on you guys. Whatever you guys decide is what we're going with.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like only a couple, 2 or 3, maybe 4 times we should be set, I feel like. But, I mean, who knows? It's been almost a month since we've done this, so maybe it's more. I'm just over optimistic.
But, like I said, it's all you guys. When you guys say you are good, then we will assume you are good and ready for next weekend. I'm also going to do something slightly different today in that I'm going to actually check some, see what some RTA times come out to be. Just because I'm generally curious. Mostly because the last SKU isn't still 100% consistent. It's better. I can do it more consistently, but still failing it happens, so. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready to go.
Anytime.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, hey y'all, welcome to Axiom Verge 2. In this game, as you sort of saw in the intro, we'll be playing as a character named Indra Chaudhary. She's the leader of a global corporation and a corporate billionaire. And that's about all the lore we're going to be getting in this run.
So, starting out in a true Metroidvania fashion, we got to stop to go left in order to be able to go right to our first item of the game. And we're going to use our first save quit mechanic, which just allows us to save just a little bit of backtracking. We're actually going to do that a couple of times in this run. The first few only save a couple seconds, and then there's one towards the end of the run that's going to be absolutely crucial to setting up the end game. We'll get a little bit more into that when we get there.
Yeah, this run wouldn't even exist without that ability to do the save and quit here. And as we kind of go through this research station, you'll notice that there's a suspicious lack of any people, as well as any actual threats, which kind of gives you a little bit of time to learn the mechanics of the game.
You're going to see here, we're going to turn the power on and instantly save quit again, which is going to put us right back outside the one station we need to access the next portion of the game. You see, by hitting the power, we're going to open this little door to the right here, and it's going to bring this to this little garage door. What Serpent's going to try to do is actually duck down to go through it, because you can get through just a little bit quicker. In a run that's only about 11 minutes long, we want to try to save every frame possible. Now you're going to see some screen breaking, and we're going to be transported to a new place that is definitely, possibly still Antarctica.
Definite maybe. But probably not. Who knows for sure, right? And as we continue along here, you'll see some more signs of human activity, like that do not enter sign that we're going to conveniently just ignore. And speaking of things that we're ignoring, those tremors, don't worry about it. It's not a problem.
We're fine.
Yeah, no issues there whatsoever. Swag donut grab. So coming into this next room, we want to go exactly 8 splashes over to the left before immediately turning around and hugging this wall. And once Indra goes vertical, we'll bring up the item menu. This allows you to actually drown a little bit quicker. It's just this little forced death mechanic that this game has.
Shout out to Wonderland Drug, who constantly reminds me during streams to hydrate.
Yes, this is actually a forced death animation right here, and by doing that sequence of events, we actually get the death probably about 30 seconds quicker than you would in a casual playthrough, so really huge time save.
And coming up, Seraphit's going to be doing the most important trick of the run, which is validating the run by holding right on the thumbstick, and then once Indra starts standing up, holding left of the D-pad, you can face right while still walking left, doing a little moonwalk. Honk.
All the cool kids.
So legitimately coming up here, the most important trick of the run is known as Recoil Slide. By using the pickaxe and slashing downwards at an angle, you can push yourself off screen through a loading zone. However, doing this also requires audio cues, so Falc and I are going to have to be a little quiet here.
There we go. By doing the recoil slide, we're able to bypass the laser gate right there. And that's going to allow us to get up to our first upgrade here, which is Sheshkala. And she gives us the ledge grab ability, which is going to allow us to progress further.
And right about now, there's just going to be a little bit of simple fun platforming for the next 90 seconds. So if you've got any donations, now's the perfect time for them.
I notice I'm getting some real gentle frame loss on my side.
You know, I saw a little bit of that, and I just thought maybe it was getting lost in the Discord stream, but I saw a little bit too.
Yeah.
Ooh, I missed the edge of that ledge.
Just setting up the RNG, that's all that was.
Yep.
Oh, always the perfect excuse.
Absolutely.
I've learned to jump that one really low, which causes me to land on a slightly lower platform, which doesn't impact the timing at all, but causes the screen to not realign on the right side of it.
I love how complicated names they have for some of the most basic abilities. Hey, you can grab a ledge. We're gonna call this Sheshkala.
I'm going for the swag jump. Oh, got it.
Gorgeous.
Nice. So coming up into this next room here, we're going to be getting the second of our 3 urns throughout this run. And this one's called Mush House, and what it allows you to do is glitch certain enemies and platforms. And before we even grab this, Seraphin's going to be holding the R2 button so we can charge up the glitch ability and activate this platform without having to wait afterwards. It's just a nice little optimization that you can do here.
So as we come to the next part here, there's again just really some basic platforming going on, but you'll kind of notice some interesting aspects of the enemies in this game, in that they have like these little like laser feelers that come out, and that's kind of how they sense where Indra is and where to fire. But also for the most part, they don't actually have any hitboxes themselves, so we can just run straight through all of these enemies very, very easily. It's a weird concept about Axiom Verge 2 is that a lot of enemies are optional in this game, and speaking of optional, all of the bosses in this game are optional as well. In fact, in this run, we're only going to see one boss, and that's our buddy the robot drone right here. Everybody can say hello.
Say hi to the Hunter Drone, and say goodbye to the Hunter Drone. And Seraphin just got a beautiful little trick there, which is urn skip. So by pausing on the same frame that your pickaxe hits that urn, you can save and quit while still collecting the ability, and it saves a good 7 seconds there. Honk.
Sorry, I was drinking water. I missed it.
Coming up, we're going to be dealing with our second of the recoil slides. This one's twice the length, and is completely necessary to the run. There's a small benefit with this one, being that there is an enemy in the room where you start this recoil slide off, and it will hit you and kind of bonk you off a little bit further to the right, which does save a bit of time, but not a huge amount. However, like the last one, needs audio cues. And that gets you right on through there to this door. And don't worry about that glowing blue thing. It's definitely not lore related.
No, just a blinking Christmas tree.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. So we're going to be bringing the drone over to the right here, and yet again charging up that ability in advance. So we can save the drone at that save station. However, Indra actually has to go over to the left and do a very important trick here to be able to progress. So by saving and quitting while Indra's in that wall and the drone is out, that'll cause the drone to respawn at that save station. However, as far as the game's concerned, Indra's still where that wall was, and by recalling the drone after saving and quitting, it pushes Indra right into the wall. If you look at the mini-map, you can see Indra's still moving through. And right there's just a little jump that you need to do to be able to keep on going over to the right. And if everything worked out here, what this is going to do is it's either going to push Indra up or down. Hopefully up. Up pushes us right into the final boss's room. Down is a soft lock. And that's beautiful. That pushes us right into the final boss's room, so we can go around and activate all these switches here.
Yeah, since we never actually met the final boss of the game, there is no final boss. So all we have to do is hit these 4 switches and detonate the bomb at the bottom, and we are done. Or are we? No, we're not, because of course it's a Metroid game, and that means we have to now escape while the detonation sequence is going.
Yeah, what's a Metroidvania without a good escape sequence here? However, we also do get the benefit of being able to listen to one of the most banging soundtracks in what a game full of banging soundtracks.
Yeah, so as we go into the last room here, time is going to be on fade to black for the screen, and interesting fact about the game is that we're trying to escape to set off this bomb, but the game doesn't care whether Indra or the drone escapes. So it's actually a little bit faster. We're going to throw the drone up top here, and Indra's going to get stuck inside with the bomb. So I'm going to say she's going to die, but it doesn't look very good at this point in time. And that will be time.
That 10:52.
Jesus Christ! Look at you.
4-7.
And if I had got the door in the beginning and like one other small thing, I could have. Oh, now I don't even want to think about it. 10:52 on a first run of the day is a great run. That was 11:04 RTA.
Yeah.
That's actually fantastic.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. My goodness.
Yeah, that's a beautiful run.
Like a run like that at GDQ is exactly what I want, because that's beautiful. No, I missed the second honk because I was like, oh, I got the earn skip. Yes. It's so good. And I saw the time and I'm like, okay, I'm a few seconds behind, but that's actually still really good time. And
you
then
got the burn skip. You got
I got the skew first try, and it's just like.
First.
And the worst part is
good.
the worst part is in the beginning when I got to the ledge grab, I was 5 seconds behind.
Jesus.
So
That's insane.
I mean, it's getting closer and closer to we might actually see a world record happen at GDQ. It's plausible. Give me a second. My nerves are all shot now because I was actually really, really good. I was less than 2 seconds slower than world record.
Yeah.
It's like, we've mentioned it a handful of times, but yes, we are literally trying to save every single frame, because as you can see, the last number in the timer is measured in frames. So, being that that was literally less than 2 seconds, like, yeah, every frame counts that I can save in this run.
Yeah, that freaking garage door.
And then the one slip off the platforming section. That was it.
Yeah.
I think I hit, yeah, like the one slip on the platform, and I had a second slip in the second platform area with the drones.
Yeah.
So not in the snow area, but in the upper area.
Oh, yeah, okay.
2 ledge slips and didn't get the door, and that's what does it. Like, that's...
Insane.
Yeah, it is insane. Alright, reset my timer. Alright, go again?
Yeah, let's go one more for sure.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, welcome to Axiom Verge 2. So as you saw on the little intro screen there, we're playing as a character named Indra Chidari. She's a corporate billionaire who's came here to Antarctica to look for her missing daughter after something happened to the
I'm gonna hold you
station.
up for a second, actually. Because I was thinking about it here, and I think I know what might actually be causing the lag. Because the thing that I use for my input for my controller display eats up a bunch of resources. Yeah, like, that's way better. I can already tell that that's way better.
Alright.
Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Something, Axiom Verge 2, Indra Chidari looking for daughter.
Something video game. Something game.
We just went over those.
This is the true Metroidvania. We're going to start off by going to the left here to get our first item of the game, and that's going to allow us to actually do our first save quit abuse. It just helps us to avoid a little bit of unnecessary backtracking. We're going to use it a couple times right in the beginning. That saves a few seconds, and then there's going to be one time right towards the end of the game that we have to do. It's absolutely vital, and it's going to save a boatload of time. So, but we'll get a little bit more into that as we get there.
And as we move through this research facility to turn on the power, you'll notice that there's a suspicious lack of any people or hazards, which just kind of gives you a little bit of time to get a feel for the movement of the game and, get familiar with the mechanics before it throws you into it.
So we're going to come over here. The whole point is we want to turn on the power of this whole station, and then we're going to save quit again. That's going to put us right outside the door that we're looking to go through here, and then we'll be able to access to the right that we couldn't do before without getting the power on. So what Seraphine's going to try to do here is actually duck down and get you. Well, duck down, you can actually get through the door just a little bit quicker. And in a category that's only about 11 minutes long, we want to try to save every single frame possible. You're going to see that the screen's going to kind of break away here. Door's going to open, and we're going to be transported to a place that's definitely, maybe still Antarctica.
Definite probable. Who knows for sure, right? And as we move along here, you'll still notice some more signs of human activity. For example, this do not enter sign that we're going to go ahead and conveniently ignore. And speaking of things that we're just going to be ignoring along the way, those tremors, don't worry about it. It's not a problem.
It's fine. We should grab a snack on the way, though.
Yeah, I like donuts. How about you?
Absolutely. I think Seraphine does, too. Perfect.
Donut even has blue frosting. So coming into this room, we want to go exactly 8 splashes over to the left before turning around and going right up to this wall. And once Indra goes vertical, we'll bring up the item menu, and this allows you to drown just a little bit quicker.
Yeah, so this is a completely forced death animation. By doing like this, we actually save almost 30 seconds over what would be done if you did it casually. So, really huge time save to be found there.
Coming up here, Seraphine's going to be doing a very important trick, which is necessary to validate the run, known as the Moonwalk. By holding right on the thumbstick, and then once Indra starts to stand up left on the D-pad, Indra will continue to walk left while facing right. It's completely meaningless, but we all just do it for fun. Honk. So legitimately now, coming up is the most important trick of the game, and this is known as the Recoil Slide. By using the pickaxe and facing left, by slashing downwards at an angle, you can push yourself through a load zone without actually triggering it. However, doing this requires an audio cue, so Falc and I are going to have to be quiet here for a few seconds.
And we are through. By doing the recoil slide there, you can see that we were able to bypass that laser gate there. And that's going to allow Seraphin to go and get our first urn of the run, which is Sheshkala, and that's going to allow us to do some ledge grabs. And that's going to allow us to progress further.
And now for about the next 90 seconds, there's just going to be some simple fun platforming, so if you've got any donations, now is the perfect time.
Yeah, I totally forgot to say my line.
Yeah, Crimson got it for you.
Thanks, Crimson.
I was thinking that too, and I was like, oh, well, I just figured you were in super, focus mode at the moment.
I was, because I was already way behind on time at that point, and I'm just like, I gotta nail these tricks.
Yeah, I just looked over and saw Crimson said all the cool kids do the moonwalk. Perfect. Someone's gotta say it.
Well, the good thing is you can always say it on the next turn, the second time around.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It's because there's so much information to throw in that specific moment about the recoil slide trick.
There is, and I might just switch it to saying it the second time around, since you have way more time to mention that bit of stuff then.
That might not be a bad idea, honestly.
Well, since I'm once again already way behind on time, I'm gonna go for the swag jump again.
Might as well. You got it the first time.
Depending what's going on with the donation at the time, and right somewhere around passing into this. Wow, I missed that jump. All right. Somewhere probably right around here. But like, guys, should I go for the swag jump? And I will literally leave it to you to decide on that one.
I'm always gonna say yes.
Yeah, the answer's always gonna be yes.
I mean,
and you got it again.
You're 2 for 2. Look at you.
It was 2 for 2.
And coming up into the next room here, we're going to be grabbing the second of the 3 urns that we grabbed during this run. This one's known as Mush House, and it allows you to glitch certain platforms and enemies. By holding R2 in advance here before you grab the urn itself, you can start charging up the glitch ability so you don't actually have to wait at all to be able to hit this platform and get moving again. Yet again, it's just one of those optimizations that saves a few seconds, and in roughly an 11-minute run, every frame counts.
Absolutely. You're going to see in this section right here that a lot of these enemies have these little laser grids that come off of them. That's kind of how they see and know where to fire against Indra. But the enemies themselves actually don't really have any hitboxes, so we can kind of just rush right through them. Vast majority of the enemies in this game are optional in that regard. And also optional is all of the bosses in this game as well. In this run, we're actually only going to see one boss, and that boss is right here. So everyone can say hello to the Hunter Drone, right there.
Hunter Drone.
And now we can say goodbye to Hunter Drone.
Bye, Hunter Drone. And here's the third urn right here, and well, this one's called Damu, and it gives you a drone ability, kind of similar to the first game where you could throw out a drone and use it to get through smaller gaps. This game's version of the morph ball, so you can get through one-tile areas.
And a lot of other interesting stuff we're not going to see this run.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, all the cool kids do the moonwalk.
Honk. So, coming up here, we're going to be doing the second of the recoil slides, and this one's about twice the length of the first one. However, there is a small benefit being that there's an enemy in the room where you start this recoil slide off, and it will hit you, which does save a little bit of time. It kind of pushes you in the direction that you want to be going. And you can see on the mini-map that Indra's moving along. So, yet again, like the first one, it does require audio cues, so Falc and I are going to have to be quiet here for a minute. There we go, getting through that recoil slide. As I said, that one's certainly a lot longer. Don't worry about the blue Christmas tree here, it's definitely not low related whatsoever. So, we gotta bring the drone over to the right here, yet again charging up this glitch ability in advance because we know that there's a switch here that we have to activate. And by saving the drone in this save station, we can now bring Indra over to the left. And yet again, Indra's going to have to activate a gate here. That's why we're charging this ability up in advance. But doing this, what we're going to do is we're going to save and quit after the drone is thrown out. But make sure that Indra's in the wall. Because what the game's going to do is when you restart the game, you're going to start off as the drone at the save station. But as far as the game is concerned, Indra's still in that wall. So once you recall the drone, you'll be able to just move right on in through the wall. Yet again, you can see Indra moving along the mini-map. And you'll see a couple little vertical movements here. That's where Seraphim has to jump to be able to kind of get through. And going up into this last area, the game's going to do one of two things. And one of them we want, one of them we certainly don't. It's either going to push Seraphim up or down.
It's probably going to go
push
down.
Us into the final boss room.
Yep.
Down will push us into Softlock City, which we definitely don't want to be in. So unfortunately, at that moment, Seraphim just has to close the game and reopen. The slight upside to this being that the game's still gonna think that Indra's in the wall and resave you, like re-put you as the drone. So you don't have to do any more of the setup for that. You can just kind of continue on going through the wall from where you were.
We're unfortunately still not 100% sure on what actually causes us to go one way or the other. So it's really hard to actually try and make something that makes this 100% consistent.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of those glitches that it's, can go one way or the other, and
I'm through.
There's one that you want. There we go, right on into the final boss room.
Yeah, normally there would be a fight in here, but since we never actually met the final boss of the game, all Seraphim has to do now is hit all the 4 switches in the corners, and then we can go ahead and detonate the bomb, and then that will be the end of this game. Or will it?
Oh,
Of course not.
We lied.
Since it's a traditional Metroid game, what good would it be if we didn't have to escape during a countdown?
On the notable upside here, during this sequence, you get to listen to a great soundtrack in a game that's just full of great soundtracks. And considering this is all made by one person, this is some real good music here.
Alright, so now we're into the last room of the game here. Time is going to be on the fade to black screen. And a fun fact about during this escape, the game doesn't actually care whether it's Indra or the drone that escapes. So we're actually going to throw the drone at the very end just to be a little bit quicker, which unfortunately means that Indra is going to get locked inside with the bomb. So,
Time.
And that will be time.
Rest in peace, Indra.
And see what it was. It was 11:04. 12:06 RTA. Not terrible.
I mean, considering the amount of things that went wrong, no, not terrible at all, honestly.
Yeah, that was pretty good still.
Yeah, that second backslide was awful. I could not readjust the timing for it whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
Just a reminder, if you're going to go again, the stream closed because you force quit the app.
Thank you for the reminder.
Discord. Yeah, buddy.
Did it? There we go.
I mean, I personally feel like we're good, but I mean, I'm ready to do one more for the kids if you guys want.
I mean, I think we're good.
You both think you're in a pretty good place?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
feel good about it.
I'm pretty sure we got this.
Noble says
Noble's
again.
call. Do it again. All right.
Like I said, I'll do one more for the kids. Why not?
1 sec. Give me 1 sec. We're gonna make sure we got dinner started here before I get going.
Yeah, go for it. But yeah, it's like between the first run and the second run, it's like you could see how much of a huge difference it makes for like the tiniest of things. I missed breaking one of the boxes in the beginning. The second backslide was awful. I missed the urn skip. The urn skip, the third urn for drone. That alone, getting that skip is 7 seconds.
Oh my god. And it's roasting some garlic right now, so the whole house smells like roasted garlic.
Oh,
Just I want to be in your house right now.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Love it.
all right. One last run. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's roll.
Nail it out of the park, guys. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, everybody. Welcome to Axiom Verge 2. So in this game, as we sort of saw in the lore bit in the intro, we're playing as a character named Indra Chadari, who's a corporate billionaire coming to Antarctica to look for her missing daughter.
And so since this is a true metric video, we're going to start out by going to the left here to be able to get our first item of the game. So this first weapon is going to be able to allow us to attack boxes, and it's also going to allow us to do a save quit right here, which just helps to avoid some unnecessary backtracking. There's going to be a few of them throughout the run. The first couple only save a couple seconds. The last one is going to be absolutely vital to the trick that we're going to have to do, but we'll get a little bit more into depth of that when we get there.
So coming through this research station, you're going to notice that there's a pretty suspicious lack of any people, as well as any actual hazards, which gives you a little bit of time to kind of get used to the mechanics and movement of this game. Nice little bit before it just throws you off into the deep end.
Yeah, so the whole point is we're going to climb all the way over here. We want to turn the power back on, and we're going to hit a save quit again. Now that the power's been turned back on for the station here, we're going to be able to move over to the right and access a port that we weren't able to access before. And this is going to get us to this little garage door. You're going to see Seraphin actually duck down here to try to get through just a little bit quicker there. You know, in a run that's only about 11 minutes long, we want to try to make every frame count as much as we can. So we're going to see the screen kind of break away here. We're going to get transported to a new area that is definitely, maybe still Antarctica?
Definitely, probably. Who knows for sure. And as we kind of continue along here, we'll notice some other signs of human activity along the way, like this do not enter sign we're just going to conveniently ignore. And speaking of things that we're going to be ignoring, these tremors here, don't worry about it. It's nothing.
It is going to be a long journey, though, so we should probably grab a snack.
You know, I can do with a donut.
That'll work.
Hey, it's even got blue frosting. So when I was saying about throwing you off the deep end before, I wasn't being entirely metaphorical. Going into this room, though, we want to go exactly 8 splashes to the left before turning around to the right and hugging this wall. And once Indra goes vertical, we'll open up this item menu, and it allows you to drown a little bit quicker.
Yeah, so this is actually a forced death in this section of the game here, and by doing it this way, we save about 30 seconds over what would happen casually if you just let the room fill up with water.
So coming along here, Seraphin's going to be doing the most important trick of the game, known as the Moonwalk. So as Indra starts to spawn here at the save station, by holding right on the thumbstick, and then once Indra starts to stand up, holding left on the D-pad, Indra will walk left, will continue to face right. Honk. Alright, so legitimately coming up is the most important trick of the game. We do it twice in the run. It's known as the Recoil Slide. And by slashing your pickaxe downwards at an angle, you can cause Indra get knocked back and go through load zone without triggering it. However, doing this trick also requires audio cues, so Falc and I are going to have to be quiet here.
And there we are. So the recoil slide effect allows us to get past through that laser gate right there. And that's going to allow us to come over here and grab our first urn of the run, which is Sheshkala. And she's going to allow us to do our ledge grab abilities, which is needed to be able to progress up to the next parts of the game.
And right about now, we're just going to have about 90 seconds of some simple fun platforming, so if you've got any donations, now is a perfect time for them. Honk.
I don't think I ever actually noticed that there was another bird there.
I almost honked all 3 times right there, too, honest to God. I thought about it. I didn't do it, but I thought about it.
I figured I at least need to honk once as we're going through there.
The old triple honk there.
Yeah, who doesn't love Canada Gooses? The only animal in the animal kingdom that wants anything to do with Canada Gooses is Canada Mooses.
Alright. Not gonna fight that logic.
I had to sneak in the Letterkenny quote somewhere along the way.
Yes, you're going for swag jump.
Spike jump.
I didn't get it.
Damn.
You had to say something.
I had to, I'm sorry.
I was going for it anyways, but...
So coming up into this next room here, we're going to be grabbing the second of the 3 urns that we're getting throughout this run. And this one's known as Mush House, which allows you to glitch certain platforms and enemies. And by holding R2 in advance before grabbing the urn, you can actually charge up the glitch ability during the animation, which allows you to glitch this platform just a little bit earlier. And it's just one of those small optimizations. Like Falc said earlier, in a run that's roughly 11 minutes long, you want to save every frame possible.
Yeah, there's an interesting mechanic in this game. And a lot of the enemies, you can see they kind of have like these laser grids coming out of them. That's how they can detect Indra's position and where to fire at her. But the actual enemies themselves don't really have a hitbox, so for the most part, we can just kind of run right on through them. It's a really weird quirk about this game in which enemies are very optional. And on top of that, bosses in this game are fully optional as well. In fact, we're only going to see one boss in the whole run, and that's going to be the Hunter Drone that we can see right here. So everyone say hello to the Hunter Drone.
Hunter Drone!
And say goodbye to the Hunter Drone.
And bye, Hunter Drone. So here we're grabbing the 3rd urn of the run, which this one's known as Dahmer, and allows you to throw out the drone ability. If you've ever played Axiom Verge 1, you'll kind of know what this one's like. It's the same sort of deal, where you can use the drone to get through one-tile gaps and kind of explore other areas. It's used for a lot more in this game, but we're not going to see any of that.
Remember, all the cool kids do the moonwalk. Honk.
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 So coming up, we're going to be doing the second of our 2 recoil slides this run. This one's a good bit longer. It's roughly double the length. But it's got a slight advantage here, being that in the same room that you start this off, there is an enemy that's going to be near where you are to get through the load zone. And it'll shoot you and kind of knock you back a little bit. While you're at this, you can actually see Indra moving on the mini-map, so you can kind of watch. But yet again, this requires audio cues, so this is going to be quiet time for a bit. we've gotten through that little section here. We'll just be continuing on for a little bit. Don't worry about the blue Christmas tree. It's definitely not lore related. So we got to throw Diamond Mode over to the right here. And yet again, we're charging up this glitch ability in advance because we know that there's a switch here that we need to hit. And getting through here, we're going to be saving the drone at the save station. However, Indra actually has to go over to the left here, yet again charging this glitch ability up early. But what we're going to be doing is that last save and quit that we mentioned earlier, and by throwing the drone out and saving and quitting while Indra's in where that wall was, it's going to cause you to respawn as the drone when you come back into the game. However, when you recall the drone, it still thinks that Indra's where that wall was, and it kind of just pushes you right on into the wall and allows you to continue through going completely out of bounds. And yet again, like with the second recoil slide, you can see on the mini-map Indra moving, you can see a couple little vertical movements where Seraphim had to jump to be able to continue on. And as we come into this last room, the game can do one of two things. What we want it to do is push us up into the final boss room. If it pushes Indra down though, we're going to be in Softlock City, and we don't want to go there. Yeah, unfortunately. It's not exactly a great spot for a vacation. However,
now we have to force close down the application and open it back up. But fortunately, everything we did with the drone and with Indra's positioning in the wall already is still saved in the game, so it's not a huge time.
Yeah, we don't have to redo that setup to be able to get into the wall. We'll just start off as the drone, recall the drone, and you're right where you were to begin with. Unfortunately, that skew can kind of go a little bit off, and yet again, unfortunately, we don't exactly know what causes it to not work the way we want it to. So getting it 100% is kind of easier said than done at the moment.
I might have figured out some things that make it lean towards actually working, but nothing's ever 100%. That's a spot I've never ended up in.
Interesting spot.
That's a new one.
That's never happened before.
That's awesome, actually.
What? Why couldn't that have been the one that happened to AGDQ? Like, why couldn't the one that's never happened before been the one just so I could have had the that's never happened to AGDQ before?
Happened. Bingo card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little bingo card on the 5th run of the
that was awesome.
I'm just gonna take a reset on that. I hit right too early, and popped myself out of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
This would be yada yada, time for a donation.
Yeah. I just like the look on Seraphim's face when, during the second recoil slide, when he missed a couple of the inputs. Just look over at the stream and saw the look on his face.
I think I want to do one more after this because my recoil slides are off.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Get up there.
Success.
There we go. By going up there, we actually get put into the final boss room here. But since we never actually met the final boss of the game, there is no boss. So all Seraphim's got to do here now is go and hit the 4 switches throughout the room, detonate the bomb, and the game will be won.
The boss is a lie.
Just kidding.
We were lying.
It's a Metroidvania. What good's a Metroidvania if you don't have to escape during a detonation sequence?
We got juked.
On the upside of this, though, you do get to hear a great bit of music during this ending sequence, and I mean, it's a great music bit for a game full of them. So, yeah, definitely enjoy that.
So now as we're coming into the last room of the game here, time is going to be on the fade to black at the end. There's a little fun fact about this game that when we want to escape, the game doesn't care if it's Indra or the drone that escapes, actually, so it's just a little bit quicker for us to throw the drone at the end here, which means Indra gets stuck inside with the bomb. So unfortunately, Indra, we thank you for your service.
Rest in peace, Indra.
And time.
1339. RTA. Not terrible.
Three
Yeah.
resets? I mean,
Let me see.
what are you gonna do?
I want to try and knock a thing or two out of... Like, I'm wondering where I'm getting the lag from is what I'm wondering. Oh. It's gonna be that stupid thing where I have to have Task Manager open to cut down CPU usage. Is that what's doing it? Give me a minute. I want to see if I can cut out the lag. Because I was looking over at the stream and I see it going through on the stream a little bit too.
Okay.
I think my bitrate's fine. So it's not bad. Yeah, I still kinda notice it. My GPU's not maxing out. And it damn well shouldn't. I have a 3080 Ti in this thing now.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's
overpowered for Axiom Verge.
it's hitting its max usage right now.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's not surprising. Like being focused on the game, it's Task Manager says my GPU usage is at 97%. Because to have all of the frames.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if there's anything I can actually do about it, which is kind of upsetting. Let me try and tinker. I'm gonna cut these out of the stream view real quick. Because I know that XSplit, when there's a lot of things, because everything's all web sources, that can cause some issues, and that's a little bit better. Yeah, no, that's actually fairly better, having just cut out 2 web sources out of there. I guess the good thing is that on GDQ, they have a specialty setup of OBS. That they were like, we have this set up for everybody, all you have to do is put your 2 inputs in here, stream it, we'll take care of the rest on our end. It's like, awesome! That was super easy to set up. Took me all of like 2 minutes. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so
it was really nice.
it's like, I won't have all the other web sources, so I won't have things choking up CPU usage, which means I should be getting full frames and things. Or at least as much as it can handle. Alright, one last one for the stream. Just see if I can pull it back under 11 minutes. And then we'll call it good, because you guys sounded pretty solid on that last one.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, what's up, Mikey?
Hiya, Mikey. You made it just in time for the last run of the night. This will be the last run before next Sunday.
For the big one?
Yeah, before the big one, before the one that matters.
The big one.
The big one. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright. Welcome to Axiom Verge 2. As we kind of saw during the intro, we're going to be playing as a character named Indra Chadari. She's a corporate billionaire who's come here to Antarctica to look for her missing daughter.
Like any true Metroidvania here, we're going to start out by going to the left in order to get our first pickup here. And we're also going to be executing our first save quit of the game. The save quit mechanic allows us to avoid a little unnecessary backtracking. We're going to do it a few times throughout the run. The first couple just saves a few seconds. The one towards the end of the run is actually vital to the trick that we're going to be performing. But we can get a little bit more into that once we get there.
As we kind of go through and make our way through this research station, you're going to notice that there's a suspicious lack of any people, as well as any actual hazards. And it's just a nice little section early on to kind of get a feel for the game's mechanics and the movement.
I'm calling a redo on that. I don't know what happened in the stairs, and somehow I dropped through it. I'm just like, hands, no.
Which apparently Seraph needs to get a little bit better feel of the mechanics and the movement of this game.
3, 2, 1, go. I don't know what my brain was doing there.
Fair enough.
It's something.
Intro talk.
Yeah, it's something that at GDQ, it's like if I screw up on the stairs or something, I'm gonna have to unfortunately just deal with it.
Oh yeah.
So yada yada, going left to get a pickup, save quick mechanics, things of that nature.
Yeah. Blah blah. Research station. Mechanics and movement. Blah.
We're just primed and ready now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blahs.
Well, I mean, we were just over all this like 10 seconds ago, so.
Alright, so all that basic platforming has us come over here. We want to turn on the power of the station here. And then we're going to immediately back the title again. Once again, just avoiding some unnecessary backtracking. That's going to put us right outside this station door that we need to go through now. We're going to go to the right here. And then there's this little garage door that Seraphim's actually going to try to duck down to go through. Allows us to enter just a little bit quicker. But in a speedrun that's only about 11 minutes long, we want to try to save every frame possible. Instead, we're going to see the screen kind of break away a little bit there, and we're going to get transported to a new area that's definitely maybe still Antarctica.
Yeah, definitely, probably. Who knows for sure. As we kind of continue along this direction, notice some other signs of human activity, like this do not enter sign that we're going to conveniently ignore. And along with that, speaking of things that we're just going to be ignoring, these tremors here, don't worry about it.
I'm getting a little hungry, though. We should probably grab a snack for the road, though.
You know, I'm in the mood for some donuts.
There we go. Perfect.
Check it out, donut with some blue frosting. So going into this next room, we want to go exactly 8 splashes over to the left before turning around immediately to the right and hugging up against this wall. And once Indra goes vertical, we're going to just open up the item menu, and it allows you to drown a little bit faster here.
Shout
This is an entirely... Oh, go ahead.
out to Wonderland Drug, who constantly reminds me to hydrate.
Yes, this is actually a
Wonderland.
four-step animation right here. So by doing it this way, we save about 30 seconds over what would happen casually with letting the room fill with water.
And right away here, Seraphim's going to be doing the most important trick of the game, known as the Moonwalk. By holding right on the thumbstick and left on the D-pad once Indra starts to stand up, he'll face to the right while walking over to the left. It's just a fun little trick that we all do for no real reason. Honk! So coming up now, we're actually legitimately going to be doing the most important trick of the run, known as a Recoil Slide. And this allows you to use the pickaxe slashing downwards at an angle to push Indra off screen with the recoil of it. However, doing this, it's going to require an audio cue, so we're going to have quiet time coming up here for a few seconds.
And there we are. So the recoil slide there allows us to pass that laser gate. So that's going to allow Seraphim to pick up the first urn of the run here, which is Sheshkala, and that's going to allow us to do some ledge grabbing and progress further into the game.
And right away here, we're going to have about 90 seconds of some simple fun platforming. So if you got any donations, now is the perfect time for that. Did Discord stream back for you too, Falc?
Yeah, it froze for me too.
Okay, cool.
It's like completely frozen?
It's frozen, yeah. You're fine on Twitch. Like, just the Discord stream said, nope, I'm done.
Weird.
So now we're gonna be, 4 or 5 seconds behind you.
I mean, not like we really need the commentary,
Right,
Seraphim's
yeah.
just doing this for practice, and we were kind of just going along with it.
I mean, you guys know this commentary by heart anyways, so...
Yeah.
Yep. I got my little notebook here. I'm good.
I'm just going off of memory.
I wrote down all the notes just in case, God forbid, like, you get sick and you can't do it and I have to do the whole thing.
That's fair.
Something silly like that happens.
Better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
Absolutely.
That is true. And yes, do swag jump.
I'm kidding, and I'm getting terrible on my ledges, though.
Oh. Thanks for sorting it out, Discord.
We're decided to catch up.
Oh, that's good. Hey.
Yay. So going into this next room here, we're going to be grabbing the second of the 3 urns that we get during this run. This one's called Mush House, and it allows you to glitch certain platforms and enemies. By holding the R2 button in advance here, what you can do is charge up the glitch ability while this animation is playing out and activate this platform just a little bit quicker.
Ooh.
It's one of those small optimizations that, like Falc said, in a roughly 11-minute run, you want to save every frame possible.
Yeah, so going through this next section right here, you're going to kind of notice some of these enemies have like that laser grid progression showing out of them. That's how they can track Indra's location and where to fire their weapons as well. But the funny thing is the enemies themselves actually don't have a detectable hitbox, so you can kind of just run right on through them. You know, the majority of the enemies in this game are just completely optional. And also being optional in this game is all of the bosses in this game. In fact, we're only going to see one boss in the whole run, and that's right here. So everyone can go ahead and say hello to the Hunter Drone here.
Hi, Hunter Drone.
And we can all say goodbye to the Hunter Drone here.
Bye, Hunter Drone. So here we're grabbing the last of the 3 urns that we get during this run, and this one's called Damu. What this allows you to do, if you're familiar with the first game, is it allows you to throw out the drone, and the drone just allows you to explore one-tile gaps, as well as area known as the Breach, which unfortunately we're not going to be able to see in this run.
And remember, all the cool kids do the moonwalk.
Yes, indeed.
Honk.
And coming up here, we're going to be doing the second of the recoil slides. This one's about twice the length. However, it does have the slight benefit of there being an enemy in the room where you start this recoil slide off. So it will kind of knock you off screen and speed it up a little bit. And if you actually watch the mini-map, you can see Indra moving during this section. However, like the first recoil slide, this is going to require some audio cues, so it's going to be quiet time for a little bit here. Alright, now that we're through that section, I'm going to be continuing along here. Just ignore this blue Christmas tree thing, it doesn't matter. And going to send the drone out over to the right. Charging this glitch ability in advance, because there's a switch that needs to be hit along the path. Allows you to do it a little bit earlier. And saving the drone here down at the save station. However, Indra has to move over to the left, yet again charging the glitch ability to be able to hit a switch early on. But as we mentioned the save and quits earlier, this one's the most important because you need to be able to do this for the game. By saving and quitting while the drone is out and Indra's in the wall, it'll cause you to respawn as the drone. However, the game still thinks that Indra is over in that wall section. So by recalling the drone, it's just going to push Indra right on into the wall. And yet again, if you look at the mini-map, you can see as Indra's moving through, you'll see a couple little vertical movements here. Seraphin has to hop over to continue through here. But as we get into this last section, the game can do one of two things. It can either push us up or push us down. And if it pushes you up, it pushes you into the final boss room, which is exactly where we want to go. If it pushes you down, it kind of pushes you right on into Softlock City. But thankfully, we didn't end up there.
Yeah, so now that we're in the final boss's room, but since we never actually met the final boss, there is no final boss. So all Seraphim's got to do is hit these 4 switches here, and then detonate the bomb at the bottom, and we have won the day. Just kidding.
We lied.
Since this is a Metroid game, what good would it be if we didn't have to escape during a detonation countdown sequence? So that's what we've got to do now.
Thankfully, though, we do get to go through this detonation sequence, listen to some great music here, which, in a game full of really good music, this stands out. Considering this game is all made by one person, the fact that all this music is so good is really impressive.
So now as we come into the last room of the game here, the time is going to be on the fade to black screen. And fun fact about this game is that during the escape here, the game doesn't seem to care whether Indra escapes or the drone escapes. So it's actually slightly faster to throw the drone right at the end, which means unfortunately Indra's going to get trapped inside with the bomb, but hey, GG.
Rest in pieces, Indra.
I think technically it's canon.
And that is time.
Time.
I think it's technically canon that Indra gets trapped. Right? Like, that's how that actually works out?
Yeah. I mean, there's no robot Indra to take over, but...
Only the drone version escapes. 1104, if I got an urn skip, it would have been sub 11, so... Like, that's 100% acceptable. You guys
Nothing wrong with that, Roman.
You guys did fantastic on commentary. Like, you guys think you're in a good place?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, because I think you're both in a good place. Yeah, 1104 is absolutely a... like, 1112 RTA is a run I will absolutely take at GDQ. Like, that's great. I would really like the sub 11 at GDQ because I've mentioned it a few times, but I'm one of only 2 people in the world who have done it. And so to be able to actually just show that run where like everything in the run is basically perfect and basically pixel perfect would be really nice.
World record for GDQ.
Or Riot.
Marathon luck. Marathon luck will be that I'll have to redo the skew 8 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, I don't know why my backsliding was off, but hopefully it's just today. Like, the first run went great. The first one was a 10:52. That would be an amazing run to do at GDQ. I don't know why every run since then was off, but I guess that's something I get to worry about next Sunday.
Yeah.
So.
It's only a week away. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? It's only like we've been practicing this run with the commentary for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
It's only like I've been practicing this run since like 3 weeks after the game came out. It's only like I've had to set the world record on this run like twice. Technically, I only had to set it twice. I beat myself on it twice, so I set the record. I set world record on this run 4 times. Because I first beat Sabira, then I beat my time, then I beat my time again, and then I had to beat Captain Brian's time.
And thank you for that.
Yeah.
And it's still only exactly 60 seconds, 60 frames ahead of his time, so... I would really, really love to hit the world first sub 1050 at GDQ. That would be that's the best case scenario. Like, I don't think it gets better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Alright. Let's get out of here for the night. We got that in. Soul King's doing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I've actually kind of wanted to see what these are like. Because they look super weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, alright, thank you guys for coming along and doing this tonight, and we will reconvene next Sunday on Games Done Quick's channel for my run at AGDQ. He's doing a fish lock. Oh, that should be great. AGDQ next Sunday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time is when I am tentatively scheduled to do my run. It could be a little late, could be a little early, depending on the runs before. I am the 5th run of the event, which means 4 runs probably isn't going to offside a whole lot, so tune into their channel around 5. I'll have the link posted in Discord. I'll have it posted in a ton of other Discords. There's like 5 people I have to go mention things to, including Salt King. I gotta remind him that it's on Sunday. So yeah, let's get out of here. We'll say hi to Salt King, and I will hopefully talk to you guys sometime during this week. I'm gonna try and find some time to do some more streaming, and wish me luck for Sunday, everybody. Have a good night.
Take care, everybody.
See ya.